Michael Jordan wasn't always the basketball icon we know today. In high school, he was a talented player, but not the most highly recruited. However, his potential was evident to those who watched him closely. One of those people was Dean Smith, the legendary coach of the University of North Carolina, UNC. Smith saw something special in Jordan and recruited him to play for the Tar Heels. When Jordan arrived at UNC, he wasn't the superstar he was in the NBA. He was just a young player with a lot of potential. Standing at 6 foot 6 inches, he had the ideal height for a shooting guard. But you know what the young Jordan has? It was his incredible athleticism, work ethic, and desire to win. These qualities caught the attention of Coach Smith, who knew that Jordan could be something special. As a freshman, Jordan quickly made an impact on the court. He wasn't the star of the team, at least not yet, but he was a key player. Jordan's gameplay was characterized by his explosive speed, quickness, and the ability to drive to the basket. He was also a solid defender and had a decent jump shot, though it wasn't as polished as it would become in his later years. During his freshman season, Jordan averaged 13.5 points per game, which was impressive for a first-year player. But it wasn't just his stats that made him stand out. It was his ability to perform in clutch moments. The most famous example of this came in the 1982 NCAA championship game against Georgetown. With just 17 seconds left on the clock and the Tar Heels down by 1 point, the ball found its way to Jordan. He calmly took a jump shot from the left wing and nailed it, giving North Carolina a 63-62 lead. That shot would go down in history as one of the most iconic moments in college basketball. It elevated Jordan from a promising freshman to a national sensation. People started to take notice of this young player who had ice in his veins and a knack for making big plays. After a spectacular freshman season, the expectations for Jordan were sky high, and he didn't disappoint. In his sophomore season, Jordan continued to improve his game. He became more of a focal point in the Tar Heels offense, and his stats reflected that growth. He averaged 20 points per game, up from 13.5 the previous year, and he also contributed 5.5 rebounds and 1.6 assists per game. Jordan's sophomore season was marked by his increased confidence and willingness to take on more responsibility. He was no longer just a young player with potential. He was becoming the leader of the team. His jump shot was more consistent, his defense was even better, and his ability to finish at the rim was almost unstoppable. Jordan was beginning to show flashes of the greatness that would define his NBA career. By the time Jordan reached his junior season, he was already considered one of the best players in college basketball. But what made this season special was how he began to dominate games in a way that few players could. Jordan averaged 19.6 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game during his junior year. While his scoring average dipped slightly from his sophomore season, his impact on the game was greater than ever. In his junior season, Jordan showed flashes of the player he would eventually become in the NBA. He was more aggressive, more confident, and more dominant. His ability to take over games was evident, and opposing teams had the game plan specifically for him. The media began to hype Jordan as the next big thing in basketball, and NBA scouts took notice. Teams scouting Jordan saw a player with incredible athleticism, a strong work ethic, and an unrelenting desire to win. They also saw a player with room to grow, which made him even more enticing as a prospect. Jordan had developed into a well-rounded player who could score, defend, and make plays for his teammates. He was no longer just a talented college player. He was a future NBA star in the making. After his junior season, Jordan made the decision to declare for the NBA draft. It was a decision that was met with excitement from NBA teams and fans alike. However, despite his impressive college career, Jordan was not selected with the first overall pick. Instead, he was picked third overall by the Chicago Bulls. The first pick in the draft went to the Houston Rockets, who selected Hakeem Olajuwon, a dominant center. The second pick went to the Portland Trail Blazers, who selected Sam Bowie, a 7'1" center who was seen as a safer choice at the time. The Blazers' decision to pass on Jordan is still a topic of debate to this day. While Hakeem Olajuwon went on to have a Hall of Fame career, the Blazers' choice of Bowie over Jordan is often seen as one of the biggest draft blunders in NBA history. It's safe to say that Portland might be regretting that decision up until now. So how good was Michael Jordan in college? The simple answer is that he was phenomenal. Jordan's college career was marked by his incredible athleticism, his clutch performances, and his rapid development as a player. He had all the tools to be a star: speed, quickness, scoring ability, and a relentless work ethic. But what set him apart from other players was his potential. Jordan had the greatest potential of any prospect in history. However, like all young players, Jordan had his weaknesses. In college, his jump shot wasn't as consistent as it would later become, and he sometimes struggled with decision making. But these were minor flaws in an otherwise stellar game. Jordan's strengths far outweighed his weaknesses, and his potential was limitless. College was an essential part of Michael Jordan's journey to becoming the greatest player of all time. It was at North Carolina that Jordan learned the fundamentals of the game, developed his skills, and gained the confidence to perform at the highest level. Playing under Coach Dean Smith, Jordan was taught the importance of teamwork, discipline, and hard work. These lessons would stay with him throughout his career and help him become the champion we know today. Jordan's college career was also crucial in shaping his competitive spirit. The experience of hitting the game-winning shot in the 1982 NCAA championship game gave him the confidence to take on any challenge. It was a moment that defined his college career and set the stage for his future success in the NBA. Michael Jordan's college career had a lasting impact on his legacy. It was the foundation upon which he built his Hall of Fame career. Jordan's time in North Carolina would help him develop into the player who would dominate the NBA for over a decade. His college years were a crucial part of his journey, and they played a significant role in shaping the player and the legend that he would become. Jordan's college career also added to his legacy as a winner. He was a champion at every level: high school, college, and the NBA. Winning was in his DNA, and his college career was the first major chapter in that story. The lessons he learned at North Carolina, the experiences he gained, and the confidence he built all contributed to his success in the NBA. Michael Jordan's college career was more than just a stepping stone to the NBA. It was a critical part of his development as a player and a person. Jordan was an exceptional college player with the potential to be the greatest, and he fulfilled that potential in the NBA. His time at North Carolina shaped him into the player who would go on to become a 6-time NBA champion, a 5-time MVP, and the greatest basketball player of all time.